everyone, and welcome to this yoga class for the core and for the spine. Today we're going to be working on these parts of the body because it's really important to have a healthy core and a healthy spine to feel energized and to feel alive. So we're going to start today in a seated position. So you can come to sit onto the heels if this is comfortable for you, or you can come into a cross-legged position. If you are coming into a cross-legged position, make sure that you are elevating your seat by placing a block or a cushion underneath the buttocks. And that just really elongates the spine. So take a moment to find a comfortable position. Place the palms onto the knees or onto the thighs. And then just take a deep inhale and close the eyes down. And just take a moment to ground yourself here as you begin the practice today. Taking a deep inhale through the nose and a really deep exhale through the nose. Try to elongate the exhale. So perhaps you might want to start with counting. So it could be that you breathe in for 3 and elongate the exhale by breathing out for 4. And just take a few moments on your own here to settle the mind, settle the breath and the nervous system. And on your next inhale, keeping the eyes closed, just roll the shoulders up, back and down, and tuck the chin under just to really elongate the spine. And as we come into the practice today, just notice where the mind is at and where the thoughts are going. And try to let go of those thoughts, any judgments or expectations for the practice today. And allow yourself to be present in this practice. So on your next inhale, inhale through the nose deeply. And then exhale through the mouth completely. Letting go of the day. Inhale through the nose. Exhaling through the mouth. Good. And then just blinking open the eyes. So you can either stay in this position or you might want to switch the position onto the heels or into a comfortable cross-legged position. Because we're going to start today with a breathing exercise. This breathing exercise is a type of pranayama and it's called Viloma. And so we're going to need a comfortable position for the next few minutes. So while I explain this pose, you might just want to have a look at the camera, just to have a look where I'm pointing towards on the body. So this breathing exercise involves breathing into different parts of the stomach and the chest. So we start by breathing into the lower stomach, and then we pause when we fill the lower stomach up with air. Then we move to the upper stomach, we carry on breathing in, and we pause when the upper stomach is filled with air. And then we move to the chest, we inhale, and then we pause when we've fully inhaled all the way through the stomach and the chest. We remove the hand and then we fully exhale through the mouth. So, what I'd like you to do is just come to your comfortable seated position with your eyes closed and place the right hand onto the lower belly. Take a full deep inhale in first and a full deep exhale through the mouth first. Good. Next, we're just going to breathe in to the lower belly and then pause. Then move the hand onto the upper belly, breathing in, and then pause. Moving the hand up to the chest, breathing into the chest fully, pause, remove the hand and breathe out through the mouth. Good, this time place the left hand on the lower belly, inhale into the lower belly and pause. Move the hand to the upper belly. Inhale into the upper belly and pause. Move the hand to the chest. Inhale into the upper chest. Pause. Remove the hand and exhale out through the mouth. This time the right hand goes to the lower belly. Inhale and pause. Upper belly. Inhale and pause. The chest. Inhale and pause. Remove the hand and exhale through the mouth. This time you're going to do it on your own. So place the left hand on the lower belly and move through the breath at your own pace. And when you finish, just come back to your comfortable seated position with the eyes closed and take a few full deep inhales and exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. This time inhale in through the nose and out through the nose. Good. And then just come to blink open the eyes. So we're going to start in a lying down position today. So what I'd like you to do is just come to sit onto the bum with the knees bent. And we're going to start with our first bit of core work as we move all the way down to our back. So just find a comfortable position with the soles of the feet facing down. Place the palms facing upwards in front of you. And very gradually, vertebra by vertebra, you're just going to melt all the way down into the mat. Avoiding rushing. Imagine that you're moving through honey here. Resist the temptation to rush. Engage the core. And feel each part of the back melting into the earth. As you slowly melt down, the shoulders, the neck, and the head are last to come down, and then the hands. Good. And then from here, just straighten the legs out. Feet and legs are about hip width apart. And take a deep inhale in here, and a really deep exhale. On the next inhale, bend that right knee in towards the chest and clasp the hands behind the right knee. Exhale, swap, so that the hands are clasped behind the left knee. Inhale in here. Exhale to swap. Inhale, clasping that right knee. Exhale to swap. Inhale the left knee. Exhale to swap. Inhale the right knee. Exhale to swap. Inhale left. Exhale swap. And just continue this now in your own time. So you might want to slightly increase the pace, but just remember to keep in tune with the breath. So you're exhaling as you're swapping, and you're inhaling as you're clasping and squeezing the knee in towards the chest, releasing tension in the hips and in the lower spine. So this is wind relieving pose. It's a strange name, but it's really good for the gut health. So just take a few more moments on your own here, remembering to inhale and exhale. Good. And on the next exhale, just place the soles of the feet back onto the floor with the knees bent. We're going to come into our next exercise, which is some core work to really strengthen up the abdomen. So what I'd like you to do is place the hands at the base of the head, just above the neck, and take a few moments to palpate the neck and the head with the fingers and the hands, just to release any tension. And then come to rest the head onto the palms of the hands. So just find a comfortable seated position here. Okay, so what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be meeting the knee with the elbow, and we're going to do opposite knee to opposite elbow. So we're going to start by inhaling, raising the right knee and meeting it with the left elbow. Inhale in, exhale, melt back down. Inhale in, Left knee, right elbow. Exhale, back down. Inhale, left elbow. Exhale, down. Inhale, right elbow. Exhale, down, flexing the feet as we go. Inhaling, left elbow. Exhale, down. Inhaling. Exhaling, down. Inhaling up, slightly faster. Exhaling, down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And this time, just go at your own speed. So perhaps you want to speed it up, or perhaps you want to slow it down if you really want to keep in tune with the breath. Just a few more here. And perhaps we really speed up now. Perhaps go double speed. Really creating warmth in the spine and in the core. Okay, and on the next exhale, just lower the arms back down. Lower the head and just shake out the head from side to side and perhaps wiggle out the hips. Good. So for our next exercise, we're going to come into some bridge waves. So from here, we need to make sure that the fingertips can just about touch the heels. So you might want to just wiggle about here a little bit on your mat and try to get the middle finger really touching the back of the heels. Good. When we're here, we can just relax the palms upwards, facing the ceiling. On the next inhale, we're going to lift the hips and the lower back off the floor up towards the sky. So let's have a practice of this first. So inhaling, first we take the tailbone up and then the lower back to the middle back. And as we exhale, we melt all the way down. Let's try that one more time. So inhaling, we pick the tailbone up off the floor, then the lower spine, then the middle spine. And our chest is facing upwards towards the ceiling. And we exhale, we melt all the way back down from the top, the middle, the lower, all the way down to the tailbone. Inhaling back up. Exhaling back down. Okay, this time we're going to move slightly faster. So we're going to inhale up, exhale back down. Inhale up, pushing the hips upwards towards the sky, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. And then just settle back on the next time that you're on the floor. We're going to add some arm movements. We're going to create some bridge waves here. So on the inhales, we lift the hips, lift the back. We're also going to lift the arms behind us. So inhale to lift. Exhale to melt back down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. And just keep going in your own time. You might want to speed it up or perhaps slow it down even. And try to really ground and root down into the feet. Push up from the feet. And try to really lift those hips up towards the ceiling as you go upwards. And this time we're going to just slightly increase the pace. Last one. And on your next exhale, just come back to the floor, palms are facing down. Good. Take a deep inhale in here. And a deep exhale through the mouth. We're going to find the heels again with the middle finger. So just make sure that the middle finger is reaching to the heels. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come into our full bridge pose, okay? So what I'd like you to do is on the inhale, you're going to lift the tailbone, the lower back, the middle back up. And then you're going to take the hands underneath the back. You're going to clasp the hands here. Either stay here if this is enough for you, or perhaps you want to roll the shoulders underneath to really create some strength here. And then we're going to push the hips upwards towards the sky, rooting and grounding down from the feet, remembering to inhale and exhale. So inhale deeply, exhale completely, inhale deeply, exhale completely. One more, inhale deeply. And as we exhale, we're going to just unlock the hands, unlock the shoulders and melt the spine all the way down to the tailbone gradually. Take a full deep inhale in here on the floor. And a deep exhale. We're going to come into bridge pose one more time. So we're going to really root and ground into the toes first of all. So perhaps pick the toes up if you can, and then place the pinky toes down and then all the way down to the big toe. Root the balls of the feet down into the ground and also the heels and really push down firmly. On the next inhale, lift the hips, lift the back, take the hands underneath and clasp the hands, perhaps rolling the shoulders underneath, and then exhale fully. Inhale in, try to tuck the chin down, exhale out. Inhale in, exhale down. As we tuck the chin down, we really elongate the spine, push up into the feet, inhale, push up from the shoulders to create strength, exhale. 2 more breaths, inhale, exhale, 1 more, inhale, and exhale, all the way back down. Good. Just release the hands, release the shoulders. We're just going to take windshield wiper legs here to release the lower back. So what we do here is the right knee goes out towards the outside of the mat and the left knee comes inwards. So they point towards the same direction. Then on the inhale, we just swap. So we're releasing the tension in the upper back. And just move in your own free time here. Remembering to inhale and exhale. And then come back to center. Soles of the feet are pointing down. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to come up to a seated position. So we're going to rock along the spine to create some energy there and release. So we're just going to take our hands behind the knees and we're going to rock gently up and down. All the way through the length of the spine, rocking up and down, into the shoulders, into the sacrum. Really feel a nice deep release. And you might notice that some parts of the spine are slightly more bony, slightly more tension or pressure on different parts of the shoulders or the spine. And on the next rock up, you're going to stay up. Soles of the feet are facing down once again. So from here, we're going to place the hands onto the knees. And our next pose we're going to come into is boat pose or Navasana. So if this is enough for you, you can keep the hands here and you can just practice pulsating by inhaling, pushing the chest forward and exhaling, rounding. So perhaps let's just try that all together before we move on. So inhale, pushing forward, exhale, rounding. Inhale, arching, exhale, rounding. And just take a few moments in your own time to arch and round the spine. And if this is enough for you today, you continue with that. Or we're going to come into some variations of boat pose. So the next thing we're going to do is outstretch the arms, palms are facing upwards. And we're going to just point the toes so that the big toes are on the mat. And we can just play around with lifting the toes, lifting the feet up off the mat. Inhaling and exhaling. Now if that is enough for you, you continue playing around, working on the core. Or perhaps you can take it further by coming into full boat pose. We lift the left leg, we lift the right leg, and we come into our boat pose. So we're engaging the core here. We're finding strength in the spine, strength in the core, and on the exhale, we lower the feet back down. Good, just come into your windshield wiper legs again. So knees are pointing to the right side, then the left, releasing the spine, releasing the core. Okay, so we're going to come into our Navasana boat pose one more time. So, palms are facing upwards. Deep inhale. Deep exhale here. On the next inhale, point the toes and perhaps you play around with just moving perhaps forward and backwards, lifting the feet off the floor. Or, if you feel more confident, you lift the left leg off the floor, you lift the right leg off the floor, and you come into your boat pose. You engage the core, the chest is facing upwards and out, the palms are facing upwards, and perhaps we feel a burn or a shake, and that's absolutely fine. And on the next exhale, we place the palms and we place the feet all the way down. We come into our windshield wiper legs. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Good. So from here, we're going to find our cat-cow pose. And to get there, we need to get to tabletop. So just swivel round onto the knees. And the palms are going to be facing downwards. The hands are underneath the shoulders. And the knees are underneath the hips. We're creating a straight spine from the crown of the head all the way down to the tailbone. So on the next inhale, just arch the spine, lift the chin slightly, and on the exhale, round the spine and look towards the navel. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch, warming up the spine. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Inhale. Exhale. And just take a few more in your own time, marrying up your movement with the breath. Remembering that yoga is a movement meditation, so we always try to move with the breath. And when the breath becomes out of sync, we take a step back and we notice where the movement and the breath is at, and we try to resync the breath with the movement. So, coming back into our tabletop pose, hands are underneath the shoulders. We're now going to move into our first downward facing dog. So we're going to tuck the toes under here, and we're going to push firmly into the ground using our hands. On the next inhale, we're just going to lift the knees and float the hips upwards towards the sky. Inhaling in. And exhaling, just pushing the feet back into our downward facing dog. In our downward facing dog, we're trying to get the spine as straight as possible here. So perhaps we have slightly bent knees, and we're pedaling out the feet. We look down towards our mat. And just take a few moments to notice how this feels. Perhaps there's stiffness in the hamstrings, in the neck, or in the spine. And then just shake the head yes and no from side to side, releasing any tension in the spine. And then just take a moment of stillness here in your downward facing dog. Really deep inhales. And really deep exhales. On the next inhale, you're going to step the right foot forward in between the hands. And we're going to come into a low lunge. And we're just going to hold this position here. And we're just going to rock backwards and forwards, just oiling the hip. On the next inhale, we're going to step the right foot back to meet the left foot. And we're going to come into a plank pose. So we're going to hold this plank and we're creating strength in the spine and in the core. We're going to avoid allowing the hips and the bum to sink down or perhaps pushing upwards towards the sky. We're just going to create a really lovely straight spine from the crown of the head to the tailbone. Deep inhale in here. Exhale, push back to downward facing dog, pedaling out the feet. On the next inhale, step the left foot in between the hands, coming into our lunge. We're rocking backwards and forwards to oil the hips. From here, we take the left leg back to meet the right as we come into our plank pose. We have a lovely straight spine. We push up from the hands, We avoid sinking or rising in our plank. We create that really lovely straight spine. Deep inhale. And on the next exhale, we come back to our downward facing dog. And then we find stillness in our down dog. Try to have a little bit of bend in the knees to allow the spine to straighten. And perhaps shake the head yes and shake the head no. And just notice how this feels, where there's tightness, where there's openness in the body. Really inhaling deeply and exhaling completely. On the next inhale, we're going to bring the knees to the mat. We're going to move the feet round and we're going to come back into our seated position with bent knees as we did for bow pose. So you might just want to come to the middle of the mat just to give yourself some space to move all the way back down. So we're going to do a similar movement to the floor as we did at the start of the practice. So palms are facing upwards and the shoulders are relaxed and down. So perhaps you just want to roll them up and roll them down. Knees are bent, soles of the feet onto the floor. Take a deep inhale in here. And as you exhale, you're just very slowly going to move through honey and melt down vertebra by vertebra all the way down. We're using the core here, so we might feel a little bit of a shake. We're avoiding the temptation to rush. And we're melting all the way down into the mat. And we'll take a deep inhale in here and a deep exhale. Good. On the next inhale, we're going to bend the right knee in towards the chest, clasping the hands behind the knee. We're going to straighten the left leg down and take a really deep exhale. We're going to come into a spinal twist here. So deep inhale in here as we flex the foot. As we exhale, we guide that right knee over towards the left side with the left hand. And then we outstretch the right arm and we look towards the right arm as we come into a really deep spinal twist. Perhaps take a moment to close the eyes here and just notice how this feels in the spine. Inhale back to center. Soles of the feet are facing down. Take a deep inhale and exhale here. On the next inhale, clasp the hands behind the left knee with a bent knee and just straighten that right leg. Really squeeze that left knee in towards the chest, releasing the hip. Deep inhale in here. And on the exhale, we guide that left knee over towards the right side with the right arm and we twist. We outstretch the left arm and we look towards the left hand. And then perhaps we close the eyes down, we melt into the earth and we notice how the twist feels. Feeling the twist in the spine and in the neck. On the next inhale, we come back to center, knees are bent. For our final pose today, we're going to come into Happy Baby. So for Happy Baby, we're going to bend the knees and we're going to try to have the soles of the feet facing upwards towards the sky. So the idea is that the heels are are on top of the knees, okay? And then from here, if we can, we try to take hold of the outside of the feet. Now, if this is too much, perhaps we just take hold of the inside or the outside of the thighs, or perhaps even around the calves. But if we have that range of movement, we can take hold of the outside of the feet and take a deep inhale in here. And then we rock side to side as we exhale, releasing the lower back here. Perhaps bending and straightening the legs slightly. Straightening alternate legs. And just rocking from side to side, really feeling that release in the lower back and also the hips. It's a really deep stretch for the hips as well here. Really inhaling deeply and exhaling completely. Good. And on your next exhale, just float the soles of the feet back down. Palms of the hands are facing upwards, sorry. And then we're just going to straighten the legs down. Legs and feet are hip width apart. So we come into our final resting pose today of Shavasana. So take a moment to close the eyes here. Tuck the chin down slightly to straighten the spine. Relax the shoulders. And just notice the effects of the practice today. Deep inhale through the nose and deep exhale through the mouth. One more inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And just notice how the body and the mind feel slightly different perhaps at the start of the practice. No expectations, of course, and no judgments, but are there any differences? And as we come into our final resting pose, just allow the whole body just to melt into the earth, letting go of any control, any tension. And notice how it feels to be with yourself in silence here. How do you feel? Shavasana is one of the most important poses at the end of the practice, as it allows the body to absorb the movement. It allows the body to absorb the progress and to really understand. So always try to avoid skipping Shavasana, as it is one of the most important poses. So feel free to take another 5 minutes here and really melt into this practice, melt into the pose, and allow your body to feel the effects. Or if you're ready to finish today, join the palms together at the heart. Take a deep inhale in here and a deep exhale through the mouth. One more inhale in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Slowly blink open the eyes. Namaste. Well done for practicing today.